Hi guys, so it's Jake and Matt here for Just For You Fitness. So today we're going to focus on sort of like today is or starting your goals of fat loss, and there's no better time to start that, especially in sort of like today's climate and stuff with a lot of enticing foods and drink around. So we're going to hand over to Jake for this one after he's been on a weekend binging on food and alcohol. I've left it a little bit later than what he did to me when I was in Barcelona, so hammering to me about the mistakes he's made and how he's going to rectify it. So if you give us a quick run through on how you...
Sins. So obviously I talk about calorie deficit a lot, but basically I've tracked my monthly calories because it was quite an intense weekend. I definitely went over on calories over the weekend, so I'm going to have a lighter week in terms of calories until Thursday, and then it'll be pretty much a reset. But I was actually about 1 kilo lighter when I got back, which is quite unusual. I've even got picture evidence for you, but that's because I was doing about 30,000 steps a day and busting some serious shapes. But still doesn't take into account I drank Eastern Europe out of gin and tonic. It was no what hoot gin and tonic, but you know, it was good stuff. I had a good time. But yeah, we're gonna basically talk about how good a time it is to lose fat. So I've been in the industry now. This is coming up to my 12th year, and I've literally seen a lot of the trends in the waves. I've seen meal plans as the focus. I've seen you've got to eat chicken and broccoli as the focus. I've seen low carb as the focus. I've seen protein shakes and supplements as the focus. All that confusing stuff. I've seen restricting certain types of food as the focus. I've seen cutting certain things out as the focus, and it's never been a better time to lose fat and learn how to lose fat, because you can lose fat and eat absolutely anything you want if you're in a calorie deficit. Okay, so yeah, there's optimal times to eat well if you've got things on with regards to kind of performance stuff, but if you're just generally living, you want to be in relatively good shape, but you still want to have a good time, but you want to be a bit trimmer, calorie deficit is king. And food choices with regards to losing weight have changed so much now. Like, there's such an emphasis now on stuff like focusing on food flavor, because you know, if you enjoy it, you're more likely to adhere, and you're more likely to kind of stick to it. So as an example, when I first got into the industry, the big focus was on 6 meals a day, and you have to have protein with each of the meals. So like a typical rundown of my meals 11 years ago, where I'd have a chicken breast or a bit of tuna. I'd have brown rice, dry brown rice, can't even fathom. And then I'd have some mixed veg, and I'd have that really about four times a day. I'd have oats for breakfast, and I'd usually have some kind of fish and vegetables in the evening. So there was absolutely no meal flexibility, and the taste of it was bland, but that's just what everyone did. Whereas now there's such an emphasis on food flavor. Like, I don't know if you've tried a carb killer bar. They are delightful. What are they like, Matt?
Yeah.
They are absolutely delightful. They're packed full of flavor. There's things that, you know, when you're eating, it doesn't even feel like you're dieting. I mean, I don't like using the word dieting because it's a lifestyle, but it's so easy to stay in a calorie deficit now and enjoy the food you want. You can literally be a foodie and stay in a calorie deficit and lose weight. You know, you can, if you want dessert every night, you know, you can eat dessert every night and still be in a calorie deficit. If you go away for the weekend and you overindulge on a few extra cakes and a bit of extra wine, you can literally still lose weight, and that is the beauty of it. So it's never been a better time to lose fat, because it's so much more flexible. When I think back to some of the patterns that used to occur, like I remember going through phases for the summer where I'd go low carb for about 4 months, and I used to absolutely hate it. I'd get lethargic, I wouldn't have any energy, but like, because that was the thing that everyone was doing, I felt like I had to, and at the time I didn't know any better. Whereas I've dropped like 12 kilos lately, eating carb killer bars, eating about 6 donuts a week, having at least 2 meals out, and I've dropped from 96 to 82 kilos. And that's why it's never been a better time to get involved and learn about the fat loss journey. So me and Matt basically work off a rule. We work off the 80-20 rule, and that's that if you eat well 80% of the time, 20% of the time you can relax and enjoy yourself and eat a little bit more. And obviously you can play around with the window and whenever that 20% is. So that can be either you spread it along different days, or you have, you know, a day where you enjoy yourself a little bit more, with the ultimate aim of just staying within a calorie deficit. So me and Matt have opened up our body transformation plans again. If that's something you're interested in, that you have to message us for that. And also we've opened our online coaching again, with the focus around learning about fat loss, learning how to stay in a calorie deficit, around having flexibility in your life, and generally having a good time while staying in the calorie deficit and building yourself into the shape that you want. Do you have any closing thoughts, Matt?
No, but just on what you said, as I say, like, I came into it 2 or 3 years ago, and even with that 2 or 3 years, things have changed drastically. Because I remember sitting in the back office, having to chew through chicken and rice, and it was the most boring, mundane meal out, and I used to dread the thought of it. But I'd say now I'm in the same, if not better, shape now than what I was then, and I've not
This
really
guy's shredded.
had to sort of like watch too much what I've eaten, just maintain my calories and hit my macros side of things. It's not, as I say, as long as you're hitting everything will work the same way. It's all old school, the chicken and rice, that side of things. It's a bit outdated, and as I say, you've got to enjoy it to be able to want to continue and push on with things.
So consistency is the key, guys. And the reason I'm quite known for disliking diet clubs and certain diet clubs. I've been called out a couple of times, but that's because I don't believe in restrictions. I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like, I've lived through that. I mean, I've lived through that time where we all thought the only way to lose weight was to eat 6 meals a day. So I understand that those restrictions are not sustainable. If I want to turn around and eat something that I want to be able to have it. And